Well, earlier in the show, you saw Commissioner of Agriculture and Forestry, Dr. Mike Strain, speaking about the effects of removing state tax exemptions for agriculture. Joining us now with this week's Bottom Line is Neil Melancon, and I guess we need to focus most importantly on the one which affects dairymen and milk. And this is going to seem like probably an obvious question, but how would removing that tax incentive make the price for milk go up?
Avery, the answer to that is fairly simple. It's the availability of the perishable items that milk produces, including milk itself. You see, with almost every other type of food, it has a much longer shelf life and is not so dependent on freshness. With milk, you can freeze it or send it in dehydrated form, but it quickly loses quality. Consumers want fresh milk and they want it cheaply, and rightly so. In order to do that, though, we need it from local sources right here in Louisiana. In order to do that, we need to have working, profitable dairies to provide that milk, and since the tax credits have been passed, it has helped our dairies stay in business. From 1980 to the early 2000s, we lost more than 900 dairies here in Louisiana. As Commissioner Strain says, the ag exemptions help stop these losses.
We have now about 125 to 135 dairy farms. Since we did the dairy tax credit, which was instituted now, that was probably in about 06 or 07, we've stabilized the dairy industry. That particular tax credit kicks in when the cost of production is greater than the price the farmers receive for their milk. Those calculations are made. It's made by a commission. LSU is involved. But what's happened is that we have stabilized the overall dairy industry, which is $50+ million a year in Louisiana, and also make sure that we have a supply of fresh milk. And so when you look at the effect of that, we were losing dairies at 1 to 2 a week at the time. And as we do not have a dairy compact, and we started looking around, what could we do to stabilize the industry? Now, if we get a new farm bill, and if the price of milk becomes profitable and stays profitable, then there will be no tax credits given.
The bottom line is the tax credit only works when farmers are losing money and goes away when they earn a profit. This is a clear example of government actually working, and to remove it may shore up the budget in the short term. But what happens when consumers start having to pay $5, $6, or even $10 a gallon for milk? It's already higher in some cases than a gallon of processed gasoline. What will that do for our economy in the future? Dairy farming is already the toughest job in agriculture, demanding 24/7 attention every day of the year with no holidays and no winter break. Avery, we shouldn't penalize them for providing us with the fresh milk products every day.
It's absolutely a success story of one of these tax exemptions working. Thank you very much, Neil Melancon. And remember, you can listen to Neil's daily radio reports on the Louisiana Farm Bureau Agri-News Radio Network for a list of stations where you can tune in, or if you want to listen online, you can click over to our website at twilatv.org and click the LF Barn link. Before we go, I wanted to give you another brief update on our friend Michael Danna. Mike is still recovering from his surgery on September 24th to remove most of his esophagus. This is the final step in his beating esophageal cancer. The good news is doctors released Mike from the hospital on Wednesday. He is now able to swallow and now in the care of those who love him most. Now, Mike still has a lot of healing to do, so please keep him and his family in your prayers. For all of us here at This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.